After flying this airplane literally from coast to coast, over 3,000 miles, I'm gonna share with you all the stuff that's broken on it. Some of it was broken before I left, some of it I'm discovering right now. If you didn't see that video, you're missing an epic trip, because this girl right here is a 1956 310, and it had sat for quite a while, about 15 years give or take, before the guy I got it from got it 2 years ago. He then spent about 8 months on it, kind of getting everything together. He literally had to put this engine back together from a different airplane that he had to put on here and cobble things together, so you know, what could go wrong? And then, like a very smart man, I saw it, he emailed me, and I'm like, yep, I'm buying it. And then I went out there and it still wasn't running right whenever I got there. So it took us 3 days of working on this thing before it was running consistent enough, I'll say, for me to fly it from California all the way back to Florida, over 3,000 miles. It was an insane trip. Lots of fun adventures on the side, meeting a lot of great people. You definitely should check that out. And I discovered a few things along the way, one of which, this engine was the only one on the way, I'll add, that got hot. And it happened at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in West Texas at the end of June, when it was only like 100 degrees outside. Who knew? So we just opened it up, let it cool down, and it was fine and good to go. Airplane noises. I like airplanes and airplane noises. They're fun. The engine, 4 of the 6 cylinders are chrome, the other 2 are unknown. It leaks oil like crazy. This one also burns oil. It burns like 1 quart every 2.5 hours, give or take, which is a lot, but it's still technically within specifications. I'm not sure if it's burning that much oil or leaking that much oil. You can see down below, it's marking its territory. It also sounds like a Harley, so maybe that's the whole thing, because every Harley leaks oil too. That's what it's doing, is seeping oil, not leaking. 2 very different things. It's trying to be an old radial or something like that. Let me open this up and look inside. You'll see what I'm talking about. See if it adjusts down in there, but you can see all the oil leaking from there, and on these, every one of them is leaking right there. Yeah, that one's the driest of all of them. But everything is just coated in oil. Let's look at the other side. Old cars. Oh, it's broken. That's how you're gonna play, huh? Yeah, get over there. What is your deal? And you can't open this without that one. I've decided we're just gonna add a quart. It probably needs it anyway. That'll be fine. I mean, I flew it for 3 hours, so I know it used at least a quart. We're getting ready to fly it up to the other 310 to save the 310, and we're gonna use that plane and this plane and combine them and make a super 310. That's gonna be on the next video, not this one. Apparently this video is just about me trying to open this engine oil door on the side and showing you everything that's wrong with it so that we know how to make it a super 310. Now that I've shown you everything on this engine, look down below and you'll see some other really not good things. Starting with a small oil leak. Oh yeah. And look, it's marking its territory. That's not the worst bit. The scariest bit to me was on these tires. I'm not sure if you can see that. See the dry rotting and the cracking right in here? Yeah, that's not good on tires. And down there, see all that? Also not good. You look in between the treads, there and there. And not to mention they're kind of bald. Not good. But I knew about that, and I knew that these only had to make like a half a dozen more landings, so I just had to be really careful about making smooth landings, and that did okay. Check out the brakes. So you see that little ridge right there? The shiny bit back here, and the shiny bit right there? That's wearing down. In between there, really low brake pads, but on the back, what you can't really see is there's no brake pad back there whatsoever. Yeah, all that is not good. Oh, and did I mention that it's leaking? And that right there is leaking, which means these cylinders inside are leaking. So I also knew that that was an issue. Yeah, we're gonna have to take an eye on that. Oh yeah, look, there you go on the tire, marking its territory again. Oh look, more dry rot. Yes, and more dry rot, and more oil leaking. On the good side, gears worked. They came down each time, so that's nice. You got the struts here, a little bit of extra moisture. Yeah, we'll pretend that's fine. And let's see what else under the airplane. Oh, hey, this is new. I don't recall that stripe being there. I don't even know what that is. Gonna have to look at that. Yeah, we never could get this light to turn on. So, you know, there's that. More tire issues. That is not traction. That is the opposite. Get those squared away. Oh, look, a good strut. That one seems to be doing well, and that light works. So that's a bonus. Yep, this engine over here, same thing, leaking like crazy. Although not as bad as the other side, but this one was still leaking. See, it has a little bit of a oil coming out, more coming out here. This is what I call my anti-rust treatment right here. That's my corrosion resistance treatment is what's happening here. Not an oil leak like that and that. And we got a few rivets missing. That's all right, we got most of those, so we should be good. Same story over here. Brakes are totally toast and leaking. See that goo on the tire there and there? And a little bit of a ridge down there. Yeah, and leaking there. I mean, at least it's consistent. Bonus, this is where you test the fuel. Not leaking. Fantastic. Let's see, is this one leaking? Awesome, not leaking. We're not gonna have to use our drug runner soap trick to keep fuel leaks, so bonus. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. So we got a light here, and over here, there's no light, just a patch where the light's supposed to go. It's like a pirate with just one eye. So yeah, that's in a box in the airplane. We're gonna have to get that put back in, and hopefully the wires and stuff work. We'll see. Well, I just learned something. This dipstick is a locking dipstick. It won't pull out like that, but if you twist it around like that, it pulls right out. Look at that. So it's got a lock on it. Push it in, it's locked in there. I'll be doggone. More oil leaks, more of my anti-rust treatment happening in there. Yep, more oil leaks up that way and back that way. One other thing is all these hoses. I'm pretty sure that is original 1957. There's some sort of code right here, but I don't know how to decipher that, hieroglyphics. Yeah, those babies are super hard as a rock, so I'm not gonna touch that because I don't want it to break. Because that would suck, that's your brake line. If that thing broke and cracked, you'd lose brakes on this side. And you would just go woo, and it goes flying off the end of the runway and crash and burst into a ball of fire. But other than that, you would be just fine. How do you check the fuel, you ask? I'm glad you asked. With a stick. That's right, our magic stick with our red line on it right here. That is how you tell definitively how much is in there. Goes down to the red line, pull it up, and we have, a little less than half a tank. And that's how you check the gas level on a 66-year-old airplane. Now you know. Everything seems to be working just fine, exactly like you would expect a 66-year-old airplane to work. Let's go take it for a flight, see how it goes. Easily my favorite part of the airplane, this door handle. It's all smooth here like this. You push in, and then it sounds like a bank vault when you open it. Just the most positive sounding thing I've ever heard. Ka-junk. And then it opens, and then when you close it, you push down and you can feel everything just going bunk. Ready? Oh, is that not the most satisfying thing ever? Let's hear it again. Yes, I love that. Then on the inside, what's broken? Well, this thing kind of works. It was a pain in the butt. This radio, you couldn't hear anything until you were like over the airport. I don't even know what this is. There's nothing there. This radio down here, see, you can't really see that. Yeah, it also didn't really work. This did work. This tells everyone else where we're at. That's kind of good. That did work. This little thing right here is for oxygen. Yeah, there's no oxygen on this airplane. I think all those pipes are even disconnected. Yep. This side does not work. That tells you how hot the exhaust is. This side did work, but I think it was a little off because it always showed a little low. Those worked mostly. This gauge right here, which is kind of an important one, tells you if you're gonna overheat. It was kind of would flicker every once in a while and go ba-ching, ba-ching, ba-ching. So we just kind of gave the average of whatever it was and went with that. That did work, so there you go. And I think all these over here work too, so that's good. Flat position, that worked. The timer, that worked. That, no, it didn't work because that's connected to these, and frankly, I don't even know how to use it. Yeah, it doesn't work. Doesn't work, I tried it. Altimeter was working really well, except when you'd get up to the higher altitudes, 9,000 or above, and then it would just be like, yay, and then all of a sudden go bloom, 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 and get all weird on you. So that needs some attention. I think that worked. It's optimistic even right now. This, yeah, that kind of sort of worked, but you had to adjust it all the time. And I did get a funny smell after we landed, like some electronic spinny gyro type things were getting warm. So I'm guessing that could be that or this. That seemed to work. That, I'm assuming it worked because we were using it. Yep, that worked. That's still working, look at that. On all the other planes, the clock never works, but on this one, it works just fine. Huh. And this is that ADF thing, so if you want to circumnavigate the world, you would use this, but yeah, we're not doing that. I don't even know if that worked. Never even looked at it. Let's get down here to the switches. All those worked, that worked. So we have this one right here. This starter one. This one was weird. You had to hold it down in this way a little bit for it to work. Otherwise, it didn't know what you were doing. So I'm not sure there. And this is the prime. I don't think that worked either. Nav lights worked. The landing light, that did not work because it's missing off the bottom of the airplane. Taxi light worked. Autopilot, that doesn't have one of those anymore because it's supposed to go right there. And that's not there. Oh, the beacon. You got to hear this thing. Are you ready? Battery on. Listen to this. Oh, man, that's awful. That sounds like gravel in a blender, not gonna lie. It's awful. The heat, yeah, that's disconnected. The pitot, I think, works. This is our mystery switch that we still don't really know what it goes to because we flip it and you just hear a bleep, but then nothing happens. So we don't have any earthly idea what that switch goes to. And the same, these are your air for your fresh air. The bottom one, I can pull that one out, twist it, pull it out, yeah. But the top one, not so much. Ah, there it goes. And now it's never coming back in. Temperature control, yeah, that doesn't work. Oh, a little volume thing, that kind of works. And the fuel. Oh, so those worked on the mains, but then you got your other fuel tanks down here, and the auxiliary one over here is very optimistic. It is, let me just turn that on. Look at that. That is never out of gas until it's all the way out of gas, and then it's out of gas. Fuses or circuit breakers are all, just fine. Cabin heater, we got that pulled to disconnect it. This is a fantastic 66-year-old airplane. And we got Bob Ross keeping an eye on things. Isn't that right? Awesome. Let's go fly. Are you ready, Bob? Now, I did notice one slight difference in the manual versus what they taught me. So we're gonna start it up the way the manual says and see how that goes. So we got mixtures, props, throttles, right about there. Ignition switches. We're going to start the left first, and then it says to push the starter, and after it makes a revolution, then turn the boost pump on. So we're going to try that. All right, everybody's favorite. Can I get a clear prop?
Oil pressure came up, RPMs are good. Dude, this sucker is purring like a kitten. We're gonna put our flaps up now so we don't forget that. Can I get a clear prop?
We're not gonna traffic, it's coming 442, we're 4 miles to control.
And now flip the switch on.
1500 feet from north to south, right.
There you go. Oh yeah. Fuel pressure, oil pressure, all that stuff's looking great.
Let's do traffic.
Great.
Let's do traffic.
Parking brake. Seatbelt off. I'll be right back.
Second, 60 currently in attack. Wow, somebody's gonna come over me.
Okay, so now we gotta start those engines back up again. A pinch. Okay. Clear prop. A clear. Can I get a clear prop? One, two, and we're off. Alright, full power, airspeed is alive, engines are in the green. They're starting to fulfill it, yep. Wanting to come up, there's 90, 95. Get out of the way of that big old bird. Out of runway, gears coming up. Sounds good. We're at our 120 climb out. Bam, I love it. Nicely done. There's our runway. Seminole glider port, short final, 310 Echo Bravo. 36. There we go. If I can clip these trees. Oh yeah. Whew. No problem.
Welcome to what should be the last episode of Save the 310. Because after this screen goes down, ain't gonna be two airplanes behind me. There's just gonna be one. Save the 310. I'll see you soon.